Hello, and welcome to a big one. Very special unboxing. The very first publication from Areté Editions. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, although it says it's coming from Ludlow's Bookbinders, because they're the ones that actually put the book together. Let's dive in. This is the Case of Death and Honey. Areté Editions is the brainchild of Marcelo Anciano, publisher, and Phil from Hand and Eye Books, which does a lot of letterpress. Let me flip it this way, and we can see how this is shipped. So we got our box, lots of bubble wrap in the box, and we looks like we have boxes within the bubble wrap. So, as I said, this is the first publication from this very, very small press. But a lot of the names in this small press are ones that might be familiar to small press aficionados. It was bound by Richard Tong. Ooh, look at that. We got two boxes within the box. It was bound by Richard Tong over at Ludlow's, who was also the man behind Lyra's books. They did Stardust. I unboxed a version of Stardust on this channel. Beautiful book. So he did the binding on this one. Like I said, Phil from Hand and Eye did the letterpressed pages. So we actually have three books here. Two boxes, three books. We have The Case of Death and Honey, the numbered edition. We have A Case of Death and Honey, the fine edition. And we also have The Creeping Man and probably dual slipcase, number 241. So we're going to start with the big one. We're absolutely going to start with the big one. We have to start with the big one. So this is The Case of Death and Honey by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Gary Gianni. The numbered edition, I believe it was limited to 250 copies. We're going to use my handy-dandy scissors, not the classiest of stuff to open a box, but, you know, it gets the job done, to kind of unsecure this tape, if you will, cut through the tape. I want to open this as carefully as possible. It feels like this is... Okay, this is secured down on this side. So this, I've seen pictures online, looks to be a work of art. It is A Case of Death and Honey, which is a Sherlock Holmes short story written by Neil Gaiman, collected in Trigger Warnings. Is getting the glue stuck on my hand, which makes me nervous because then I won't touch the book with glue on my hands. Compiled in Trigger Warnings. Oh, look we got a bunch of bubble wrap inside as well. But this is a standalone. So you're going to have 80 beautiful pages. It's not a very long short story. And it's illustrated throughout by Gary Gianni, who has done plenty of illustrations over the years. He's illustrated H.P. Lovecraft. He's illustrated... He's illustrated a bunch. George R. R. Martin. And our book itself is wrapped nicely in the paper wrapper. But anyways, 3 minutes in, 3.5 minutes in, we haven't gotten to the book yet. Whoo! Look at that wonderful cloth on the slipcase. And on the other side, we have an inlaid leather illustration. Skeleton with some honey dripping down. So there's not actually any murder in the Sherlock Holmes story. It deals with Mycroft Holmes being on his deathbed, talking to Sherlock about life and death. Wow. All right. So beautiful slipcase right there. The book also deals with Gao, I believe that's Chinese. He's a Chinese beekeeper, who has a gentleman, a mysterious barbarian, as he calls him, arrive in the village, inquiring about his black-as-bullet bees. This is gorgeous. Wow. This is off-white goat skin leather. You can't really pick up the quality in the video there, but wow. It is miraculous to hold. The Case of Death of Honey, Neil Gaiman, Gary Gianni, the Arete logo there. It has top it's gilded. Top gilded page edges. And it has deckled page bottoms. We'll get to that in a second. We have end papers. Very nice. And I don't know if the signature page is going to be in front. It is. Wow. That paper is smooth. This edition of 250 numbered copies and 30 publisher copies of The Case, Death, and Honey. There we go. Letterpressed in 2 colors on a Heidelberg cylinder press by Phil Abel and Robert Hetherington at Hand and Eye Editions. The black was printed in 2 workings. It was hot metal typeset, so you got literally placing the letters that you're going to be typing there. And I'm not going to lie, this is number 57, which is amazing, because this matches my copy of Stardust, which is also by Neil Gaiman, which was Richard Tong and Lyra's books, which is a side project for Richard Tong. So I get to match my Richard Tong touched editions, which is just gorgeous in and of itself. Even the signatures by Neil Gaiman and Gary Gianni look like absolute artwork. You can see on the bottom, these are the deckled page edges on the bottom. Let's take a look. Got a little bee there. Oh, look at that inlaid photo. Beautiful. I believe it is Z-clay printed art right in front. Nice little wax paper to help protect it. There we go. The Case of Death and Honey by Neil Gaiman. Illustrated by Gary Gianni. Wow, indeed. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my God, it is packed with illustrations by Gary Gianni. So it doesn't really deal with murder, as that illustration kind of implies. There's Gao sipping his tea on his mountainside. Very, very large margins, because it is a short story that you got to spread. And oh my, there are like illustrations on every single page. Oh my God. Gary Gianni illustrated the hell out of this. There is Holmes by Mycroft's Bed. Like I said, if you want to read, wow, you can just feel the letterpress. It's not too overly done. It's not too dramatic, but it is beautiful. There are even sketches, little leaves falling. Absolutely incredible. So, like I said, it's a very short story. There's Gao and the barbarian drinking their tea. The illustrations, wow. Old Gao. You can read this via Trigger Warning, the collection by Neil Gaiman. The audiobook is read by Gaiman himself. He has a very beautiful voice, much more beautiful than my own. So it does great justice to the stories. This numbered edition is sold out. It is completely sold out. But there are editions of the fine edition still available. Oh, can't show you that one. Let's flip to that one, save it. There we go. Wow. This, like I say, it's a short little volume. There we go. Case, Death, and Honey, 10 years old, over 10 years old. Designed by Marcello Anciano, who is a publisher and artist for Arete. Binding design by Richard Tong, Gary Gianni. Printed by Phil Abel, or is it Abel? I apologize, Phil. But wow. I mean, 80 pages, not even 80. No, yeah, 80. But it is one hell of a tome. Oh my God. I have heard that there are some spelling mistakes in the tome itself. I will be the judge of that, I suppose. But I imagine being the typeset that was used, I suppose, it's going to be room for human error. But what a beautiful, beautiful book. Holy hell. That is just stunning. That is beyond stunning. We are at the 9-minute mark, and so as such, I'm actually going to unbox the fine editions in another video tomorrow, just because I don't like having these videos go extraordinarily long, and it's in its own box already, so we'll do it that way. If you want to see the fine edition, please consider liking and subscribing. That video will be posted tomorrow, which will be the fine edition of Case of Death and Honey and The Creeping Man by Arthur Conan Doyle. But holy hell, like I said, you wouldn't be able to buy this unless you go to the secondary market. But what a beautiful book, beautiful tome, handcrafted all the way through. I just did an unboxing from Century Press, which is also a handbound volume, and it's still very fancy, but that's like they upscaled material reusing leather, cotton paper, and it's very interesting to see the dichotomy between the two different special editions here. They're both absolutely beautiful in their own right. This one using the finest materials, the finest hand craftsmanship, and there's some great hand craftsmanship in Century Press as well, but it's interesting to see, like I said, the finest materials versus wonderfully upscaled and upcycled materials from them. Holy crap. Arete is still busy working on other titles. They are working on Who Goes There, which is the novella that inspired The Thing. And they are working on, I thought they said they were working on A Christmas Carol, but I could be mistaken. That could be Lyra's. I think that's actually Lyra's that's working on A Christmas Carol. I cannot recall the other one that Arete is working on, but I know for a fact that one of them is Who Goes There, the novella that inspired The Thing. Oh, another one is Words of Fire, which is a poetry collection of poems by Neil Gaiman to keep the Neil Gaiman going strong. And I'm all for it. I mean, Lyra's just announced their next book is going to be Coraline by Neil Gaiman, so I am all for it. Seriously, what a beautiful, beautiful book. Thank you for watching. If you watched this far along, please check out Areté Editions. Like I said, the fine edition is still available, and we will see you guys around next time.